This is my 1.6, my RJ 1.6. It's about some keyrings that we made in one of our youth group sessions, and it was coming up to Pride, so we discussed the whole idea of what Pride's about, and the history of the Stonewall riots and Pride flag, and why it's really important as a community that this is celebrated, an LGBT community. So obviously it covered some of the equality and diversity, the areas of equality and diversity. And for some young people, they didn't know the history, they didn't know about people like Alan Turing, and Peter Tatchell, and and even 20, 30 years ago, sort of around Thatcher and her legislations, they didn't know that. And I think for them it was a real eye opener into a community that they're sort of on the peripheries of, and the fact that Pride's a really integral part for them. So we decided to make some key rings which had a variety of different symbols on, and different things that they sort of liked, different slogans. And we were going to sell them at the Pride event. So we talked about enterprising, which I think again covers things like maths and English, sort of numeracy, and about what they might want to spend that money on, and how it could be spent, and how much did they want to spend, and how much did they want to sell them for. So for me, it covered a variety of different things. I thought it was an okay session. I didn't think it was amazing, because that day actually our numbers were really low, so we ended up having to sort of make the key rings as well, with it sort of be a big part of the sort of chain of making them, which was fine, because I think that's sort of the downsides to youth work. And I'm not used to huge groups anyway. I'm always used to working on my feet, and I think that's one of my skills, being able to run with something with just 2 or 3 kids and quickly make those decisions to change. So I think that's something that I'm really good at. So they made them at Pride. They made them sell at Pride, these key rings, and they were fantastic. So I think in my evidence I've put some pictures of those, of them. And like I said, I think the discussions on the areas of equality and diversity that were touched on were great. I think if we were to do it again, I'd keep the session as it was. I just wish there'd be more. There were more young people. What I find with things like session plans and lesson plans is that we can plan it to the best of our ability for that point, but actually when it comes down to actually delivering it, we need to have that as a guide. But often we go off that because group dynamics change. There's a need for differentiation. So that night, one of our young people, one of the young people that we have in the group has got a visual impairment and some learning difficulties. So we had to make sure that roles were given that met everybody's need. He really struggles with the sort of fine motor skills of using scissors and cutting, but he could display. His job was to sort of display them and market them and make and put them onto the tree that we'd got and decorate that. So everybody had their own little role, because and they all decided on that, and they knew that Cammy wasn't, the kids that were there and myself obviously. We know that Cammy's not very good at that sort of stuff, and he really struggles. So we wanted to include him. So we found him his own role. And in fact, the week before, he played a really big role looking up the pictures. He used his laptop. He's really good on computers, so he used that, and he tethered his phone to the computer. So he played a really big part. So for me, it was about group dynamic. This session was about the group dynamics, so looking at how the young people come together and work together, the enterprising, and some of the areas of equality and diversity that we don't always touch on.